Greetings! I present the Rekin system. VSM Lite Part 2. In the previous part, I've showed you how to create your very own simple set design from a photo. Now I will show you how the set designs created in a more advanced way look like. We select File New option in the menu and create an empty set. We press Create button at the top right of the screen. We choose Studio Layer in a window that opens. We select a full screen studio background file from the hard drive. This is a studio file with a transparency. Now let's add another layer, Object Layer. We insert the file from the disk. We can scale or move this panorama image. With arrow buttons, we move it to the last position. In this way, we have created a city panorama behind the studio windows. If we want to change the panorama behind the studio windows, we don't have to delete an entire layer. We can click an icon with 3 dots in the image field and select another image file. Now we will add some decorations to the studio. For this we need object layers. We select an object layer and we search the disk for the available decorative elements. We load an object, a railing, a file with transparency. We set this object's position. The next layer is a decorative element of a ceiling. This layer can be moved. The next layer is a frame for a display screen. We can move it, enlarge it or rotate it. We are adding another frame and a desk element. We have composed our studio. Now we have to create elements that contain sources. First, we create a Source A layer for the talent. We would like the talent's form to be situated behind the desk. To do this, we scale the layer and create an artificial perspective. We will change the order of the layers so that the talent was behind the desk. We select Source Type, Desk for the talent layer. Now we add another talent form. It will be a standing figure located in the studio near the display screens. To facilitate our work for a moment, we can turn off both talent layers. Now let's add a screen element. We press Create button. Sources A and B have been used for talents, so let's choose Source C as screen. We scale the layer. We choose Points mode for ease of work. In the Edit mode, we select Points. In order to place the layer with precision, we can enlarge the studio's view accordingly. Let's put our screen into a frame. Despite the fact that we have exactly adjusted our screen to fit the frame, it is suggested to move the screen layer behind the frame layer. Let us add another screen, D this time. Again, we place a layer using points mode. We set the layer's position on the list. We choose Zoom 1:1 view. Now we will add another screen on the right side of the studio. Since we have already used sources A and B for the talent layers and C and D for the screen layers, on the right side of the studio we can add another screen layer with source C. To facilitate the work, we disable one of the layers. We choose Points Operating Mode to place our layer. We will adjust the layer and change its position on the list. Remember that the talent source has its opaque function disabled, which means it may have a transparent background. In contrast, sources of a screen type have their opaque function enabled, and so their possible transparent background will be filled with black. Now, both outermost display screens in the studio have the same source C. This means they will show exactly the same thing. Let's change a source in one of them. We choose a source, Other. We can see that the thumbnail has changed on both screens. Depending on our preferences, we can enable or disable layers and compose our studio. We can, for example, disable a middle screen or a seating decoration. Our set design is now ready to be loaded into the light production module. Let's save our set as a Studio 2 file. If we want our file to be protected from changes, we have to tick an option Mark Set as not writable. The Save option is now disabled. Thank you.
Wrecking. Keen on record.